Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Philippines and Sustainable PH. And tonight, on our fourth episode, we are going to focus on entrepreneurship. And we are so happy and privileged to have with us two social entrepreneurs who are based in Cebu. And I'd like you to know them and what they do for our fisher folks and farmers, even during the COVID-19 pandemics and even before that, they have been a social entrepreneurs here in the Visayas. So let's bring in one of our guests, Miss Jet Mata. Um, she is from Balangay's Best, and let's hear where she is and get to know uh, her on this 45 minutes. Let's get it done show. And second, we have later Enrique. So, Jet, how are you and saan ka ngayon?
Hi, good evening. Hi, Kuya Dan. Nandito ako sa Bantayan Island. Ayan, so sa aming paraiso. um, Kumusta kayong lahat? And thank you, Kuya Dan, for having me here for this opportunity na ikwento yung
Mm-mm.
kwento ng mga mangingisda natin. Salamat, salamat.
Yeah, so oo, si Jet and I know each other anon pa through Kawad Kalinga program, so social entrepreneurship, and then sa Typhoon Hayan, meron kaming mga program sa energy and doon din kami nag-collaborate with solar projects. And now, since we are talking later on social enterprise, I'd like also to bring in one of my good friend. I met him. He is a Cebuano, taga Cebu, pero nagkita kami dun sa New York when I had the chance to go to the Big Apple. And Enrique, are you with us? So Enrique is from Cebu, but he's now back. Actually, he is one of our co-founder of my NGO, Seed4Com, and currently he is doing a online grocery from My Genie. And let's hear from Enrique. Enrique?
Hi Dan, can you hear me? But I think I need to be
Yeah.
admitted.
So Enrique, how are you and where you are now?
Dan, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, but we can't see you. But it's okay. Go ahead. Maybe problems with connectivity all over the Philippines right now.
I
Yeah, we can
know.
hear
Need
you.
to talk to the big boys about. All right.
Mhm.
Hi, good evening, area. I'm currently in Cebu right now, and I'm just at home. There. Thank you, Gio. Hi, everyone. I'm Gabi from Cebu. I am the chief marketing genie at omygenie.ph. We're an online platform, and we work with several brands and we mainly operate in Metro Cebu. We deliver nationwide and worldwide. And part of our trust and core values is to also find opportunities to be able to support and provide an avenue for our MSMEs, the likes of
Mhm.
Miss Jet from Balangay's Best.
Mhm. Yeah, so thank you, Oh My Genie, because even for the past year, like 2 years ago, Oh My Genie has been supportive to community programs of Seed4Com, from providing, food packs to our fisher folks in times
Yeah.
of COVID, and they will share to us later. So I'll get back to Enrique after Jet. So Jet, tell us of the what had happened and impacts of this COVID pandemic to our fisher folks in Bantayan Island, because I know people go to Bantayan. It's the summer capital of the Visayas and definitely the world. People are going there, but with COVID pandemic, tourism stops. But we'd like to know what's the situation now and the COVID pandemic with regard to fisher folks in the islands of Bantayan?
So currently, Bantayan is back in slowly. Bantayan is back to business, tourism. In fact, medyo punong-puno na ang mga resorts actually. Especially during weekends. And I think that's good for the people here kasi sobrang naapektuhan talaga ang Bantayan because it's a tourist spot and of course nung nag-start ang pandemic, there were no flights, there were no foreigners or no tourists coming in. So, parang huminto din yung buhay namin dito. Na parang kami-kami na lang. But then again, there were also good things that happened within dito sa isla. But definitely, so naapektuhan of course, yung mga mangingisda, yung mga huli nila, na hirapan kaming i-transport siya to the city, yung mga ganon. But then nagawa naman ng paraan. Ngayon, medyo okay na, medyo bumabalik na, medyo nakakabangon unti-unti yung mga tao, yung mga mangingisda, ayan. So, pero ano pa rin, struggling. Hinay-hinay lang.
Yeah. Slowly, hinay-hinay. So yung Bantayan is more on the tourism and then the fish harvest and then the dried fish. And talking to dried fish, I think Enrique, ano yung kinain mo kanina, and how this My Genie online platform affected? Was it affected during COVID pandemic, or it was an opportunity for online grocery like yours and with logistics? If you look back last year.
Yeah, I was in Manila when the lockdown was starting to kick off. There were already announcements with the local government released on the news that anytime soon. In fact, I was in Manila, specifically in Lasal, because I was under this program for social entrepreneurship as one of the cohorts, and so Manila started to implement lockdowns already. So I was telling my partners that anytime Cebu could also be on a lockdown. So we had some discussions on preparing on how we can respond and support the community. And there will be community quarantines and there will be no access to stores. So in a matter of a few days, we were able to turn around our business model. We changed all our communications, and from a B2B, meaning catering to businesses only, we opened our platform to the residences in Metro Cebu. So once the lockdown was announced, we were already operational. We were already able to deliver to households. People were able to uh, order ahead of time, even the lockdowns were announced, because we've had engagements with the employees of our corporate clients, and they were um, informed already that anytime once the lockdowns will be implemented, they can secure their groceries through us. And true enough, we were very privileged to be able to support hospitals even with their requirements for like masks and simple stuff like even soaps. And we became the central point for a lot of companies to work together so that the supply chain won't be stopped. Yeah, so very grateful
So
to the
it
team
becomes as
that
if
they said
it
yes.
becomes like the COVID restrictions lockdown. It was opportunity. There was an increase of customers and helping those frontliners, right?
Yes,
During the pandemic.
yes, that's true. More than anything, no, beyond the numbers that were coming in, I think what was more important for us and the teams and the people who were on board is that we were able to serve our fellow Cebuanos. Yeah, and
Mhm.
it was also a good way for us to test how good the system that we have built. Because the funny stuff about it is that in quarter four of 2019, we were having a plan like around November or October of 2019. I was just like, guys, we need to start planning. Just what if something bad will happen? Like, what if what if there will be earthquakes? What if the roads are gonna get
Yeah.
bad? What are we gonna do as a company? And then how are we gonna respond and help the community? And there was adoption, and no matter what part of the province, because the good thing, we're compliant with our documents even before pa. Part of the foresight of how we can handle our logistics, we were the only grocery platform and delivery service that was able to go through different borders because all of our compliances were there. We were really under IATF immediately, even before the lockdowns were announced. So we weren't like scrambling around during the first 3 months. We were all set and ready.
Mhm. So you have logistics partners that able to cross border, and yeah,
Yeah,
I got that
carrying our permits,
benefit also, right?
carrying the OMG permits. Yes.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
in
it was
fact,
very exciting.
Sinforcom would like to thank Oh My Genie, because you were the one to first respond to our nearest island community in Hilutungan. So they were also chatting like our group of fisher folks, young people in Hilutungan Island. They don't have rice, they don't have food, but they have fish, they have shellfish, shell crafts, that they glean,
Yeah,
and there's no market. So with the internet and transportation logistics, had really helped, and I thank my
that's true.
Genie for that, responding to the relief of our island fishers. So I'll get back to you, Enrique. I'll go back to Jet, because
Yeah,
we'll
I think
focus
Jet
also on
was
the story of.
disconnected. Ano Dan? I think Jet was disconnected. Just gonna be back in a little bit. Yeah, I just want to
Uh,
hinge on and continue on what you said about the community, the islands, because we frequent the island. I also frequent the island with Dan, with several projects there. And it was nice that a lot of many of our OMG customers and loyal customers really are also very supportive of our community-based outreach program. So every month, OMG, so aside from Sit4Com, there are also other communities that we have. Um, they're always, open and willing to share their blessings and help our fellow Cebuanos who are really in need right now. And it's just very heartwarming that you can really feel it between amongst our fellow Cebuanos here.
And maybe last, Enrique, could you share also the experience we have, yung pilot project natin with the farmers in Aplan, Manunggal, the
The
farmers
farmers
present,
present.
and how we try the
Yeah.
market for the past 1 month at
Oh.
least. We
Um.
were yeah.
Yeah. So well, before this, the farmers present. There's also our partner Cebu Farmers Market. Together with several farmers, we were able to onboard them on the website in a matter of like a day or two. And after that, we were able to launch and roll out. So it was a different model. People were able to pick up and deliver at certain points. And then with Farmers
Mm-mm.
Present together with Sid4Com, we ran a campaign. It was 100 for 100 challenge, and we had a couple of several people who signed up, and through a partner agency, Dual Story, they helped us with the campaign, and we were able to gather about 100 patrons who would subscribe temporarily to the program while the markets are still not open. So they would receive a box of vegetables for like several kilos, like 7 kilos for the amount of like, was it like around 800 pesos or something like that? So it came in a box. It had a letter inside, a letter from the farmer saying thank you to
Yeah.
the customers, and Yeah, but then shortly after that, the border started to open again, so there was an ease of movement of products again in Cebu. But
Yeah.
the the beautiful idea that we can respond and work together quickly and provide solutions very fast, I think is far more important. And of course, this is something that we can revisit actually, because there are now
Yeah.
talks of community support. Yeah, community supported agriculture, where it's going to be a deeper form of subscription, where customers or patrons and supporters are going to prepay, and then
Yeah.
when they prepay, the fund that will be gathered will be used in developing the farm and planting, and consistently you will be able to receive your seasonal organic naturally grown vegetables. So that's our next position. So to intensively
Perfect.
be able to help the farmers. Yes, so that's
Yeah.
very
In fact,
exciting, Dan. We can talk more about that.
yeah. So thank you very much, Oh My Genie. I know. And last thing, we are cooking something. Maybe this is the last part that Oh My Genie can tell, like for the community farmers, how they can be part of the system. Is this for a fee?
Yes.
How they can interact, especially earlier with Jet. No, we talk about how Jet can join in the Oh My Genie grocery. So tell the our viewers and how this Oh My Genie is helping on sustainable logistics, B2B or B2C.
Yes, we can, whoever is watching right now, who's ever here with us right now, you guys can just like visit our website www.omygenie.ph, or you can send us a message on Facebook, and we can assist you on how to get your brand on board. Um, Best if you're based in Cebu province, because that's where we're full on operating, and we can ship out to any part of the country anyway. So we are helping, no, all the SMEs, even though we are a tech startup. Um, we've waived some fees and several actually we actually are like giving out our service for free, just so your brand can get on board and your products can move, because we understand that everybody's having a hard time. So that's also one of the biggest contribution that our organization has provided for our MSMEs, and we would like to continue so that we all move forward together. And I'm sure things will, come back to the company and to all of our members of the employees, and hopefully we can grow all together. So yeah, just give us a message, and we'll work it from there. Because yeah, I'm very excited for Jet. I'd love to have an excuse to go to Batayan, to have a weekend there or
We'll
something.
go
But more
there
than anything,
tomorrow. Weekend. Yeah,
yeah,
we had a
yeah.
comment here from Peter from Germany. Great work in Cebu. Oh My Genie
Hi
and the rest of
Peter,
us.
thank you so
Thank you.
much.
And
Yeah,
and
if you have
Enrique,
Filipino family members here, Peter, you can buy a
yeah,
grocery and we can deliver it to their household.
yeah. Peter had lived here in the Philippines. He's one of the
Ah,
co-hosts
galing.
also at Plastic Bank. And any tips for those startup social entrepreneurs helping us? Any tip to let them be a social entrepreneur? What is this all about?
Uh,
Why are you so crazy?
well, it's social enterprise. You really have to understand that the profit is never going to be your main motivator. It's going to be the way of life, that you need to create and help develop for other people also. You need to remind yourself that when you look at your bottom line, it's never just about the numbers. So it's important to remain sustainable and grow, but you need to quantify your equation properly, and putting into consideration the well-being of the people involved, your stakeholders, your customers. How's it going to impact negatively or positively our environment for that matter? And di ba nga, it's the planet, people before profit. So um, something that I've learned from that, something that I've learned from my school, but you need to practice things. So these are just very few good important tips that you can
Uh-uh.
take with you every day, all the time is enough. If you would consider to become a social entrepreneur, so there's a lot of
Wow.
mindfulness that needs to be done here. that needs to be done.
Yeah. I have to learn a lot from Enrique because I said I am a social entrepreneur, but I don't have income. So just the spirit and the vision, but income I don't have. I need Enrique's help. But anyway, since there is a technical glitch with I know internet connectivity, could you share, Enrique, what Jet
Yes,
had
Dan.
mentioned earlier on backstage? Because I like our viewers not to see how Oh My Genie helps SMEs, no, and we're
Yes.
trying to wait for Jet, but internet in the island is a problem. Yeah. So could you share
Yeah,
na lang,
we can
Enrique? Or
expound. Is she
Mhm.
here?
Oh, here, Jet.
She's
Welcome,
here.
Jet. And Jet,
Hello.
I know you have a hard time with the internet, but yeah, what are your challenges in terms of delivering products from the island? What are your strategies? Is it just Facebook and Enrique is here. He is our friend and partner of Sid4Com. I can just pull his leg like Enrique help Jet and that let's get it done tomorrow and put up a system. Yeah.
Gusto ko
Go
yan.
ahead, Jet.
Gusto ko yan.
Yeah. Go ahead, Jet.
Actually, I was already thinking after this, mag-message ako kay Enrique.
Yeah.
Wag na
Anyway,
message, sabihin mo na. What's your message to Enrique that will help our fisher folks there?
of course, definitely that
Yeah.
hopefully we will be on Oh My Genie platform. Because we this is what we this is our challenge right now, because here in Cebu, in the Cebu province, we don't have
Mm-hmm.
the presence of Balangay's Best in any store, because after the pandemic, I mean during right before just before the pandemic, we were in Ayala and in some other stores, at the store, but then after that, pandemic happened and boom, we're, we we it was really a big challenge, because we couldn't put to any stores in Cebu. Even in Manila, there were some stores also who closed, which got closed. So yun yung challenge, dahil of course that means if stores are closing, we couldn't put our products. That means also that mababawasan yung orders from sa fishers. So yun yung challenge, na sana matulungan kami ni Enrique.
Oo.
to
Before matulungan ka
Yeah.
ni Enrique, what is the story behind Balangay's Best? Like, we'd like to know, like, why
Yes.
Balangay's Best, and what made you realize just to stick in Bantayan Island instead going abroad, or do a corporate life, what is that motivation? Yeah.
Okay. So, Balangay's Best happened because there was Yolanda. So, Yolanda, we started after Yolanda in 2014. So, I was an NGO, I was a Gawad Kalinga worker, and I was sent here to facilitate boat giving to fishers. And so after the boat giving and project has ended, I thought that there was really something missing. And that's when I stayed, continued, even if the project has already ended. So I was recommending to Gawad Kalinga, that there should be a social enterprise, journeying with our fishers, but then there was no entrepreneur. There was no entrepreneur, and I was looking for someone else, and there was a GK Tito He said, if there was no one, then but if there's no one, then there's you. You should start
Yeah.
it. And so and so I took the challenge. I took the risk, even though I'm not. I'm a social worker. I'm a social worker by profession, and I don't have any business background. In fact, I hate it. But then um, that happened, um, and I just learned to embrace it. I learned to embrace entrepreneurship because the greater goal is really to help our fishers. And so, even if I didn't know anything about running a business, and I wasn't really confident and I was scared, um, I just plunged in um, and started Balangay's Best. So, and we were in many stores, in island souvenirs, in eco stores nationwide, and what is really rewarding to me, fulfilling to me, is that we are able to bring the products of our fishers, of our nanays, to not just in the Philippines, but also even outside the Philippines, because our products were brought by chefs, and while they tour around, and they showcase the dried fish in Bantayan, and and for me, I think that's that's what is really rewarding, that people noticed, and people get to know that our fishers, our fisher folk families are really doing a great job, and really yeah, really, really doing a great job in producing the best dried
Mhm.
fish, the best dried danggit for everyone.
Yeah.
And for me, I think it's all worth it. No, it's all worth it. The fear, the confusions, and even until now, especially now, actually, that
Mhm.
Balangay's Best is also struggling in finding customers, in finding stores where we can put our products again, so that fishers can, of course, supply again, and our nanays can make and dry more fish. Um, that's why we need, and I'm so thankful for this, because definitely with this, um, hoping to collaborate to more partners like Enrique and Oh My Genie, and maybe out there there are more outlets, more stores out there where we can put our products, so that we could help more fishers. Yeah. So that's the story of
Yes.
So,
Balangay's Best.
wow. So where are you from talaga, Jet? You're from Cebu or Bantayan? I didn't know.
Yeah, so I'm not from Bantayan. Just before I was sent here by Gawad Kalinga, I was assigned in Davao for Gawad Kalinga.
Mm.
But I lived in Manila for 20 years already. We transferred to Manila from Zamboanga del
Mm.
Sur. So
Oh wow.
I lived in Zamboanga.
Mindanao.
Well, I was
I want to go to
I was born
Zamboanga.
there. I'm NPA.
Yeah,
No,
me
I have no
also.
permanent address.
Same NPA. No permanent.
Yes,
It's no permanent address. No red tagging. So no permanent address. Where
yes,
we
no
are
permanent
needed, because
address.
where we are needed, where we go, that's it. And
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. But I got married here, so I'm married to a fisherman.
wow,
That's what I thought.
congratulations.
I was gonna ask. There's a different reason I believe that's why you stayed. It has to be.
na ano na
Sabi ko,
hook.
I
She is
really have
hooked.
to wait for this
She is hooked. She was like
there.
a fish.
I
Anyway,
didn't have to ask the question. I
Enrique
thought this
and
it might not be
okay.
appropriate. Thank you for
Sorry,
sharing,
Enrique.
Jet. I'm sabi ko, I was supposed, I felt like I wanted to ask, but I thought this might not be the appropriate platform to ask. But then you shared your
Yeah, it's
love story
okay. You
already.
can
So I
ask
think
Enrique.
Yes.
so it's time
She
to
has
move to Bantayan. You don't even start just a social enterprise there. Nakakapag love life ka pa pala.
yeah. I think the
Yes.
yeah, if you have a family and then you really have to take care of the family and that's it, you have to sustain. And Enrique, could you respond to the challenges of Jet and Balangay's Best and how like Oh My Genie online grocery platform can help, you know?
Yes, we can definitely work together. We have a lot of partners already. If you visited our site, we work with several brands that are known internationally and locally. But part of our direction is really to work with MSMEs. In fact, we're pre-accelerated right now with idea space, and that's also where they want us to go. And we've had several discussions with DTI already the past few months, and the implementation is really also including brands like yourself in like Balangay Best that would really help our micro businesses and for the fact that we're in Cebu, we really wanted to start with businesses around
Yay.
Cebu.
Woo! All right, thank you, Enrique. Let's get it done.
Yes, thank
The
you.
energy talaga. Ayan. Thank
So
you,
I just
Dan.
rubbed the
Yan.
lamp of Oh My Genie, and Enrique the Genie just popped up and said, "Yes, your wish is granted."
Since I started losing my hair, I shaved it, and you know what? Let's just name the
You are
company
the
that.
mascot of the Genie.
Thank you so
But
much.
yeah,
I will
oh,
definitely message you after to as
we
to
will be
when
in touch.
and where
Yes.
will we send our products.
Mhm.
Yeah, we
And
can go
maybe
through it.
towards the
Yeah.
last one question is we are here on Sustainable PH channel. And what are the sustainable practices that your company or your community are doing, at least to promote this sustainable programs or business or taking care of the planet, resources, etc. So let's start with Enrique on
Yes.
sustainable green or whatever practices you have.
It's one of the biggest challenges for us. No, it's one of the biggest challenges that we have to work with a lot of fast moving consumer goods, which are packed in um, non-recyclable or non-upcyclable items. But with the little that we can do, we've been using paper bags from day one. We've been using upcycled boxes. We try to communicate with our customers if we can, carry items in tote bags. So you've seen our tote bags, Dan, and we understand that this is very little compared to what we should be doing. But for me, the realization in partnering with these brands, because I was like, is this part of our core values, or for me being part of Sit for Come also? And I said the best way to really be able to, sorry for the lack of a better term, fight the monster is to fight it from within. So for me, being partners with these big brands is where and how I can truly and be able to influence them because they speak with numbers. And if you give them good
Yeah.
numbers, you can already demand
Mhm.
changes in their practices. And another thing is our carbon footprint, the type of vehicles that we use. We're also very conscious about that. And being able to use one vehicle for multiple drop-offs is also part of our practice. So as we move along and we will be able to hyper-localize our operations, we are looking at greener practices within the company. And as we onboard more brands and more local products, locally made products, um, we see that Oh My Genie should at least be able to create some reduction in its carbon footprint and pollution, to be upfront about it. Yes. Thank you, Dan, for
Yeah,
asking.
I remember that,
The hot
Enrique, when we come up with the product with the farmer's best, we were like debating what container will we use, plastic, will we use this and that, and said box, but the box is so
yeah,
expensive. It's okay, we sacrifice price because of environment. So that's part of advocacy. It's not that so cheap right now
yeah,
because plastic is really cheap, but
that's
it's
true.
choking out. Mm.
Yes.
So
Our tote
very
bags are
commendable.
expensive. I think they're like 24 pesos per bag, but it's okay. Doesn't matter. Because it's for the long term, you're looking at the long term. And it's nice, people walk around with the tote bags, it warms your heart. Oh, yeah. That's social enterprise, guys. You need to understand that
Mhm.
you look at the long term, not the short term rewards.
Yeah,
Thank
very
you.
good. So thank you, Enrique. And how about our fisher folks in Bantayan? Aside from harvesting, what are the efforts of your community in terms of sustainable practice or environment, or what are you also doing there? I know vegetables, fruits is one of the concerns in our island in Bantayan.
So Balangay's best is promoting, supporting sustainable fishing. So this is our advocacy. So with that, we partnered with Rare. With Rare, so it's an NGO. It's an international NGO working on conservation, ocean
Yes.
conservation, and so we organize the fishers together with Rare, and through Rare also, um, we encourage our fishers. So we encourage our fishers on the sustainable fishing. So there are four things that we teach our fishers. The first, that they get the right size of the fish, um, not too small, especially for danggit. So for those who like to eat danggit, the very small danggit, maybe by now, um, you have to control yourself not to look for the very, very small danggit because it's not sustainable. um, and then, of course, second, the right place, the right place. So we tell our fishers to fish at the right place and at the right time. So there's seasons. So if there's close season, um, open season, so they have to be conscious of that. And then third, they have to be registered. No, their gears, their boats, and themselves, they have to be registered. Um, and definitely, so these things, we tell them, and just very recently we also started to include, involve our fish buyers, all other fish buyers, because here in Bantayan, um, there's really no data as to how many tons is being harvested every day, because we don't really record. I mean, the LGU isn't yet focusing on that. And so, Rare, together with Rare, we started involving our fish buyers. And Rare has this app called Our Fish app, and so fish buyers use that app every time fishers sell to them. They report, they encode uh, the number of kilos, as to
Wow.
what kind of fish, and then this data is automatically sent to the system of Rare. They have this recording system, and so with that, if there will be more fish buyers who's going to do that and report the catch of their fishers, then we will have the data. We will have the data here in Bantayan as to whether we're overfishing or do we still have fish. Maybe there's no fish anymore. That's why there's less catch. We don't really know that yet now because there's no data. And so with that, we are working. We are helping. We are partnering with there to achieve that goal that so that we could have that data as to the number, how many tons of fish that being caught every day, and hopefully LGU will be able to do something about it. All of us, concerning every one of us who is concerned with the ocean, especially our fishers, will be able to do something. If indeed there's less and less catch because there's no more fish anymore in the sea. I think that's really very alarming, and hopefully our consumers will also be more aware of that. Those who are buying, eating seafoods will be more aware of that. And through Balangay's Best, we also help make the people aware and encourage the people to support sustainable fishing because it's really really important that we take notice and really take it seriously this issue because maybe in by 50 years from now there will be no more fish anymore and we cannot eat any more seafoods. So yes, definitely that's our goal, that's our advocacy in Balangay's Best. And if we are able to place our products in more stores, then we'll be able to sell also our message, our advocacy to more people. So yeah, so definitely, and with you guys, I know you can help us with this.
So where can they buy? Aside from later on in Oh My Genie website. So where can they order Balangay's Best? Uh,
Uh, so
what's
we're
the
on
link? For
Lazada.
sure it will be in Oh My Genie. Yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
So we're selling on our, of course, we're selling on our FB page, and we're in Lazada also. In Manila, there's a Ritual. There's a store, like an eco store in I think in Makati or somewhere in BGC, who's really supporting our fishers here because even like if even if it's very expensive, they really buy, and because they know also the costs. And yeah, so hopefully we'll have more stores. But as of now, you can buy, you can purchase our products through Lazada, and soon in Oh My Genie.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
let's
sounds
get it
good.
done because for the information of everyone, the let's get it done slogan comes from Enrique a long time ago. So thank you, Enrique.
Yeah, I want Dan to make a book. You're welcome. Because I've
Yeah,
been trying
the
to
book
convince
will be
Dan to
next
make a book.
after sustainable. The book will be next after sustainable age. Okay, so
Mm.
Okay,
it's very
we're all set.
interesting to find out like in 2050 they say there will be more plastic than fish, but currently a lot of plastics you can see in the ocean. And thank you, Oh My Genie, for considering your sustainable packaging and greening the logistics as much as possible and being like like a vaccine to the big monsters to to change their way of sustainable packaging. So for those who haven't have vaccinated, so go to your local government. There are scheduled vaccination, and just 2 days ago, June 8th, we celebrate the World Oceans Day. So very timely. We have Jet and the Balangay's Best talking about sustainable fishing, the manner the fish is caught. And this weekend, like Sunday, I'll be talking with the JCI Subuana, also our partner in the Project Payao Fish Aggregated Device. So we're talking about protecting the ocean, 30%, the marine protected areas. So with that, any last words from our special guest before I will close this episode, Enrique?
Yes. Well, for everyone who spent their last 30, 45 minutes with us, thank you so much for spending your Friday evening. Sustainable PH, Daghang salamat for putting this program together, and congratulations to Dan. Finally, you have your own show. And yes, let's always be mindful of our consumption. I think that's really the best way to go. I've been a minimalist for 11 years. All of my clothes could only fit in one bag, and I sleep on a yoga mat. So we should really start with how we live day by day, so that the impact can really um, resonate with everyone else who live and work with us. Thank you.
Yeah. And plugging in, we have a partner project with Oh My Genie on back to school, how companies can donate or individuals donate school supplies through Oh My Genie, and partnering with schools in upland communities in Cebu. So thank you for that. Looking forward to see you again, and maybe we go to Bantayan and eat and get there in weekend. All
Yes.
right,
Definitely.
and last
Yeah,
word Beth, from Balangay Beth, from our fisher folks and mothers. For information of everyone, it's the mothers who dry the fish. It's the mostly the fishermen catch fish, but later there are already women, fishing as well. So last message to our suking tigpaminaw ug tigtanaw.
Okay. Thank you, Kuya Dan. So I hope more you buy more dried fish from Balangay's Best. So we could continue our advocacy. We could continue supporting sustainable fishing, and you could help more fishers, so that in turn also our fishers can take care of our ocean. So let's take care of our fisher folks and their families, so that they will also take care of the ocean. Thank you so
Wow.
much.
So thank you for taking care of the oceans. Thank you, Oh My Genie, for delivering even during COVID pandemics, helping our frontliners, our farmers and fisher folks. And people will ask me, is there COVID pandemic with you? Because my body is increasing. This is the result of COVID pandemic. But anyway, so next week we will have Peter from Germany, Walang Plastikan. So next week, same time, Walang Plastikan. And next week, the next after, I'll be back. So let's get it done all together. Those who are watching, support the farmers, the fisher folks from Balangay's Best and from ohmygenie.ph. So have a great night and have a sustainable weekend, everyone. Let's get it done.
thank you. Let's get it done.